the focus shifts to the jury. You three had a hand in voting out each and every single one of these people in front of you. Now it is up to you three to convince this entire group of people why you should be our sole survivor and the winner of this pretty incredible season. The best season so far, I think, I've ever produced. So that being said, this is how this section of the game and my favorite section of the game works. I'm going to ask you folks simple questions just about Survivor. I will not do what I do in Tribal. I will not push you. I will simply ask you a question. You will give me an answer. I will ask the next person the same question or a different variation of it. You'll give me an answer, and so on and so forth. There will be no pushback. I'll do about 3 questions like that. And then you folks get an opportunity to say whatever you want to these 3. You can pitch for somebody. You can ask really great questions, which I hope that you do. And you can try to get a better understanding of their stories, because I know that's ultimately what you want. How that's going to work. You are going to step up. You are going to address all 3 of them. Whether that be congratulations, or whether that be I don't think that you deserve to be here, obviously. Maybe that's a little intense, but there could be a better jury. You address all 3. You give them questions. You get the information that you need to make the vote for this amazing season. Please take your vote seriously, because it cannot fall flat on this vote. This is the most important vote of the day, and it all relies on you. Once you are done, you step off, you go back to your seat. You cannot say anything else. So say if you disagree with something that they said up here, from back here, this is not your time. When you are on this stage, this is your time. The camera is in front of you, so just let, obviously keep it this way. Do we have any questions? We're going to start with an opening statement from each of you. Lauren, opening statement.
Okay. Hello. Sorry, let me read my notes instead of just trying to remember things. I want to say, I know it's all of our first times playing Survivor. It is mine as well. I have only watched 1 season before this. I've told a couple of you I binge watched it on a rainy day a few weeks ago. And that honestly was what got me hooked to this coming in without knowing much about the strategies behind the game, and really trying to bring a fresh perspective to how I came, how I played, what I'm bringing to the table, and making sure that I have this adaptability to play throughout the game. So I wanted to really kind of come with this. I think one piece that I had outside of the gameplay was I really wanted to make connections with people. I always say, it is a game, and I want to leave this weekend being able to have some new friends, have some connections, make those throughout the game and for future. And I think I was able to make those connections with you guys that helped me throughout this. I think those were what brought me some alliances. I think those were what helped me to help you get through this game. Whatever I did. Sorry, let me keep going. I lost my spot. Okay. And I feel like I was open and honest with many of you about where I was voting, why I was voting, what was happening there. I wanted to be transparent as much as I could, whether it was, hey, this is where we're going. With Megan, you know, I was like, hey, like, you really weren't opening up to me. I didn't really know if I could trust you, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen next, and so that's why I voted you out. And even when you asked me, like, who were you thinking? I'm like, you are one of the people. You know, I wanted to really try and have that as much as possible throughout this game, and be as honest as I could in those moments, and not necessarily try to throw that around. Yes, I saw a movement. I know that wasn't all. But I really think I was very strong throughout this game. I think that I had a really strong game in challenges. I helped my team win challenges. We won the first gauntlet with my help with the puzzle, and then Megan kicking us off at the end. I felt like I was very strong throughout. I was able to win one of these final ones here at the end of the day, and that consistency was really what drove me through to get to this place today, and really lead my teams, lead my tribe, and lead myself through this individual piece up to this point. And I think that's really what helped set me apart, what really drove what I was doing, and why I feel like I had a strong game. I had a really strategic, strong game amongst everyone, and I think that was what kind of got me here, and what helped me. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes. What merely, you know, not helped me just play this, but really get to the top here. I think, you know, Survivor is now in my blood. This is really exciting to me. This is something that I think is an incredible strategic game. It takes a lot of mindset, and I think I was able to pull that off. I think I was able to come strong in the challenges. I think I was able to really forge a lot of connections with people amongst my tribe, amongst other tribes, and bring that to help others share an idol to save someone here at the end. Make sure that that my teams are really trying to get through. So I think my heart and strategy and really connections kind of pushed me toward this last spot here. And I'm rambling, and I'm going to stop.
Okay, thank you, Lauren. Allie.
Oh my gosh. Okay, bear with me. I'm a little nervous. First, I just want to say that I'm so happy to have met you all, and just grateful for this entire experience. I was so excited coming into this game. I was a board game family. I love playing games, and so just to do this with a bunch of like-minded people was, I think, the thing that I was most excited for. Coming into this, I wanted to make sure, you know, my expectations were low. Only having really 2 existing relationships in the game, I figured, you know, a lot of other people have existing relationships. There's already built-in trust, and so I just wanted to have fun and have a good game. As most of you, or all of you saw, the first day was very overwhelming for me, and I got very emotional. That's just who I am. Coming back into today and going into the battle back, you know, I definitely did want to come back in, but again, it was like, you know, it's a game, it is what it is. But the second that I realized and I knew that I was back in this game, I made sure that my mindset was completely different. I wanted to make sure I was 110% into this game. I wanted to make sure I was on the right side of the boat, build trust and build alliances with people. And for this second half of the game, I worked with a lot of people who I didn't really even talk to the first day. So I really made sure and tried to build those alliances and trust, and make pitches, and try and make big moves. And I also knew that I wasn't the best at the challenges. You know, I had some great moments, but I knew that that wasn't going to be the one thing getting me to the end. I knew I couldn't rely on getting the individual immunity, so I really had to work the social and strategic aspects of the game. Just gonna check the notes. Yeah, sorry. You know, I think I did play a really good game. I think the difference in my game from yesterday to today really, really showed, and I hope it shows for all of you. Happy to have met you all. I had a lot of fun. I think I played a really great game. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Matt?
Hey everyone. For starters, I appreciate you guys all having me here this weekend. Thank you for such a welcoming and friendly group. I definitely felt that this weekend. And I appreciate also everyone here being so engaged and so competitive, and it made this an incredible experience for me. I think overall, I try to play a very calculated and methodical game, while also at the same time forging certain lines that needed to get me further. I think also in the spirit of playing the game, also took some pretty big risks that helped pay off to get me here. But I wouldn't be here without a lot of help from people in this game, and that's from Megan, from Jeremy, from Mike, from Drew, from Caitlin, and from Austin. Got me further. But I think for my game, one of the biggest risks I took was starting with the vote for Jesse, and then voting for Caitlin when she used the immunity. In that situation specifically, I viewed Jesse at that time on my team as the strongest player who had alliances with a lot of the girls, and someone who I thought, if it didn't happen now, I would be next on the chopping block at that time. So I formed that situation with Mike and with Austin, where that we would vote Jesse first and then vote for Caitlin. Mike at the time, and I knew this, that Caitlin had the immunity, which then led, we all voted for Caitlin to one vote that would follow me towards Austin. And that got me through to the next round. As far as other calculations too, I think as part of the game was taking a risk when voting Sierra. At that time, it was a very tough situation, but had to work on swaying the vote away, not in favor of Sierra, and sway the votes of Allie and Megan to us to move forward. And that team has collectively formed somewhat of agreement that got us to the next round. And I think lastly too is when working with Lauren here, explaining that, hey, at this time of the game, Jeremy is the strongest player. If he does not get voted now, it's going to affect all of us negatively and potentially propel Jeremy to being the winner. So those are kind of some of my plays for the game. But like I said, I wouldn't be here without the help of a lot of people in this game who I worked with. I also feel too that I came in so much with negative similar to these people who are also new. But I kind of worked my way into, there's a lot of people who live in the same apartment complex or know each other from LA. I'm in neither of those groups here, and had to slowly but surely work my way into that. Also too, I think, I've also targeted my back because my lovely girlfriend is here too. But at the time when it came to shove, I communicated to people too that, hey, I will vote against her. It won't be a problem, and I also, want to advance in the game itself. So I think that also works against me too. So that's kind of the story of my game. But I'm here because of a team effort, but also from some risks and calculated risks that I think are a little larger than the two other people here who took some, calculated risk versus voting against some party lines too.
Thank you, Matt.
Yes. I kind of rambled. I had a lot better in my head, but just, pen to paper just wasn't working there.
Now I will ask. Yes, please clap.
I'm gonna
I like
go
those.
real quick. Congrats, guys. You guys did awesome. we all know this game has a lot of luck to it. So just what is like the luckiest thing that happened to you guys in the game? Like, just if one thing, maybe multiple things, whatever you want. Just the luckiest things or things.
I think for me, winning the immunity idol, playing my non-dominant hand at Flip Cup, and then just the way it's stacked up versus like second to last, I'm getting it in the first round, like being able to stay in, and then just eventually just winning that. I got very lucky on how that fell. There are people missing cups like that while I made some slow cups were missed first and I had no chance to get it. I think that really helped me and kept the immunity too. So I think that's the luckiest thing I had happen to me.
I mean, I guess, like, honestly, for just thinking pure luck, it would be giving my extra bow as the welcome gift, because that, although I think using it was strategic, I think just simply receiving that as my welcome gift was definitely the luckiest thing to happen to me. It helped me through the game.
We got tips and tricks. Very lucky, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, one of the big lucky things that happened to me, was that my team was strong to win the first challenge, and I think it put us at a really great, start of the game. We got to see two other teams already start struggling voting people off and having those conflicts before they necessarily knew each other. We were able to really take the time to form stronger connections and be able to be a stronger team from the get-go. That then helped, I think, propel my game further.
Is that Caitlin?
Hi, y'all. Congratulations. Some questions. I'd like to know, now that the game's over, what exact advantages have you had throughout the game, either retrieved from your envelopes or obtained throughout the game? What advantages have you had throughout the game, whether you earned them through your gameplay or they were given to you or you found them? All of them.
I had an extra vote in the welcome envelope, and then also gained an idol from you, or from Lauren.
I found the idol with you. I got the idol today, and then I also won the individual immunity from the gauntlet game that we had second.
I didn't receive any advantages throughout the game. I got tips and tricks to start with, which I wish I had. Wasn't even given that, to be honest.
Frame it.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, Michael. That's that. And the only other two immunities I had was from the original blue team before the tribe swap. We won, so that gave me an immunity. And then I won an individual game playing Flip Cup. That's the only. But I've had no other. I never found immunity. I never got an extra vote. I never got a steal a vote. Any of that stuff.
I didn't realize we were counting those too.
Oh, the first immunities. Oh.
I didn't know.
Oh, sorry. So no. So I had none. I didn't get any advantage of the game except tips and tricks.
Well,
Nothing.
and then the game,
The necklace.
I didn't realize we were counting.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, no, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I
proud of
said
it.
immunity. I thought you meant
Oh.
that's fine, just say
I only won one. I won a contest, and that's what we did. But I had nothing else to give them. That was so.
What I have found the most fascinating about this particular tribal council is from you, Lauren, that most of your hardest game plays were before you snatch an idol from my hand and put it in your pocket, and have continued to state that we found it, which we did together, but it stayed in your pocket. And then you go on to save somebody else around after and you backdoored my ass without a conversation beforehand, and you sit here and continue to stand with confidence that your issues were before the game, when truthfully you fucked me over so hard. So I'd like an explanation for how you surmised your decision to save this individual when we were the ones that found it. We made a choice, we paused on that choice, we came back together, and you continued to fuck me in the end. So I'd like an answer.
Sure. No, it's a valid question.
I think so too.
Yeah, no, I think once when we had paused in our conversation, like the conversation we were having about when we found out we couldn't both use it together after we had split and paused in the conversation. We came back, we did the challenge. We both were in a spot that we had to vote someone out, and
No, you were in a spot.
okay, sure. I was in a spot. And I honestly, I initially chatted with Jeremy first, and I even told him, I said, I don't know if I want to keep this. I feel like I want to give it back to Caitlin. And I said, I think that's probably a stupid move, and I'm gonna get blindsided after I do this. But like, that's my initial gut reaction. He didn't try and sway me either way, but that was my thought of it, of just like, I don't know if I'm trying to keep this, I don't know what that's gonna do my short and long-term gameplay. And then so that was kind of the first thought of it. When the team was all discussing who they wanted out, you were a big name that was coming up. And for me, I hadn't worked with you before. I didn't really have a past with you or know much about you other than what I had seen you play, which was very competitive and very strategic and very smart. And so when I'm looking at my options of if I join a majority to vote you out, I'm not going against what people are what one of the options people are wanting to do, and I'm also potentially not cutting my head off if I give it back to you for the next round that then might come back at me, because then that would have shown a duo alliance that I was probably going to be at the bottom of. So that's
Just so I'm clear, so what I'm hearing is that you're cool lying to me, fucking me over, stealing an idol from me and you that we found together in order to continue a game with people you didn't find an idol with, that you didn't have conversations with either, in order just to, so you're okay with lying? I think that's my final question. You're okay with that?
I mean, I think
Because you both face lied to me.
the answer has to be yes in the name of the game of Survivor.
What's up, guys? Congrats again. I'll get short and sweet. Matt, you said you directed the votes for getting out Jesse and Caitlin, and I would just like to understand exactly how you did that and what your role in the directing was.
Sure. I think once of being part of that new red team, and after the vote of Allie out, Jesse seemed like the strongest player, and from what I noticed from the game, had a lot of lines with the other girls. So I thought whatever the merge is, if we didn't get her out then I would have been on chopping block and I would be flipped then. So I played that similar. I thought, this is some of my assumption, that she was going to move first. You also a very strong player. You know a lot of the people here, and I could get Michael on my side to flip the vote you in the sense of that. But also in that situation too, Michael is very key on, hey, I don't want to break my promises to Austin or to Jesse, so I'm going to use a thorough vote and not vote for Jesse or for somebody else, but it's like a non-count vote. For you, he got to keep his thing, and he voted Caitlin, which he knew, and I knew that she had the immunity given to her from somebody else.
Yeah, and so if you knew that that was going to be a big move, why would you not think that we should team up with Rig Maiden and vote out Caitlin first, knowing you could flush the idol, and then get Jesse next? why did you think that it was better to get Jesse out first and Caitlyn? You knew where the votes were and you knew where the idol was.
Because I think truly it would advance my play and also I think keep Caitlyn's play too. I could still use Caitlyn and some of the strong Caitlyn as a helpful confidant in the game to get further.
Right. And but so then it seems like that was also kind of your safest move, knowing that going into that role, you were safe either way. Whether Caitlyn got out or she used the idol, and either way you were saved. So I still don't feel like I've heard how you personally directed it when you said earlier that you helped direct it.
I think just putting that play in motion is how I directed it.
Okay, because from my perspective, it was more rig mating. I was kind of putting the play in motion. Or Caitlyn, now that I've gotten to know Caitlyn.
I don't think so. I remember coming to Mike with this plan, and I think Mike was telling me something like this. I don't think Mike put this plan in motion at all. I'm trying to also remember who was on our team at that time, just thinking back.
Yeah.
So we had 5 of us. It was me, actually it was 5 of us, right? It was me, you, Ray Maiden. Yeah. Caitlyn as well. I don't think that. I think Rig Maiden, I just go along with that as a way to keep that. And I made a promise to say, hey, if you do this, I'm going to get you on. And I said that without even knowing, actually, that Rig Maiden knew that Caitlyn had the idol. I found out later after I had talked to Caitlyn and said, I'm putting this in motion. He goes, yeah, Mike knows. Because Mike asked me in 2 separate occasions, does Caitlyn have anything? And I said, no.
Congrats. Top 3. That's huge. This is the fun part. Thanks for answering all of our questions. I agree and disagree with Austin's observation. I felt the same way. Like that vote that happened, like I predicted it in there, but what I didn't predict was that the idol wouldn't be played first. And I thought the idol should have been played first, just like Austin was suggesting. But Austin, I don't think Matt should have been. I thought Mike should have. Because Matt should have wanted her idol played as late as possible. Right? I mean, that makes sense. So I didn't think that was on him. And I think him making that happen later and not first helped him and Kim secure the last one. The relationship was held against him for a long time. So I guess that's one thing. At one point, I think it was Lindsay came up and Lindsay talked about biggest moves in the game. I know in your story, Lauren, you didn't say it was your idea, but the story you gave was the idea about getting Megan out. Mm-hmm. But the cool part about what we did that vote was, one, I felt like that was like my idea originally. I feel like the big move. And the cool thing about that vote was that we split the vote and we forced out an idol at the same time and still got the person we wanted out.
I'm gonna be really honest. I forgot that because I just like my brain. So that keep
no,
going
totally
with
fine,
it. Like
totally
it was not a total commission. Yeah, keep going.
Totally fine.
Not
No, you didn't
discounting
say
what
it
you're
was your
saying.
idea. Anyway.
Yeah, not discounting what you're saying, but I actually forgot we did that until right now.
And the thing I was going to share that I don't know if everyone else knows was at that time, after you made what you told me was your biggest play, again at that moment, which is about halfway through the game, was when you didn't vote with me. And you did the easy vote, which was with Sierra and Jeremy, to vote out Drew, who had like just got on our tribe. And you told me that was your big move for the game because you thought that Jesse was going to make it past the merge with your new number 1. Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah.
And we talked about it over there, and I was like, oh, that's really tough because she's about to be the next person voted out, probably. And then she was. Then we were hoping she would battle back, and so, I was just curious, like, that move aside, what would you say would be the next biggest move that you felt was made?
Biggest move, you mean? Okay. Because I when I was mentioning that was also the toughest too, so I just want to clarify too.
I get that.
My biggest move, outside of that, I mean, I feel like probably again was with Caitlyn, was with having the idol and deciding to keep it, and then also deciding to go with the majority vote and vote her out.
Super exhausting. You guys are doing amazing. My question is, I want to get some dirt because I feel like Allie, you sidestepped the question, and I'm going to go back for it. So I would disagree with Matt. I think your biggest opponent is going to be Allie. And I want some dirt on Allie, and you can't say anything positive about her. Only negative. Why are you better?
Go.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think it's up for battle against Allie. Allie's definitely the most likable up here, and I think we'll get a lot of votes. Negative on Allie. It's tough to say because she's very likable.
The most negative thing you have to say about her is she's super likable.
No. I said it's tough to say. I think outside the helping with getting the Jeremy vote, did vote a lot of lines, or did vote some easy votes during the game, and I think until that kind of changed until today, until she was I guess voted back in, or she played back in with the snake guy.
Easy votes and got lucky with the snake eye.
Yeah.
Okay. Solid. Okay, Allie, you gotta be mean.
Do you have dirt on him? Well, I don't first, can I,
Can't say anything positive.
no, but can I go off of what he said? Like, can I, like, do a rebuttal?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Hard boundaries.
Only negative. Maybe something wise in the school.
Okay.
It's a good question.
That is a very good question. I don't think I necessarily have any dirt on you since we only started working together today. But I will say that I feel like if anyone had or went with easy votes here, it would have been Matt today, at least for today.
So we also just did easy votes.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he had the easy votes today, not me. I think I took risks when I voted, and I didn't play it safe, and I made bigger moves than Matt did today.
Okay. Cool.
Anything else? Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Okay, before we vote, you are now going to give me a closing statement. This is it. This is the last thing that will be said at Tribal Council. It is your moment, because I have a feeling that some people are still on the fence. It is your moment to really give it your all in this one speech. I think I started with Lauren for opening, right? So I'm going to go Matt OD for closing. And then I'm going to go Allie, and then we're going to end with Lauren. And then we shall vote for a winner. Cool? Matt, closing statement.
I think this is a good example that shows how effective my gameplay was throughout this weekend, throughout all the challenges. I did not receive the first vote against me until the last event today, the last drive. So there's a lot of games played. The first vote cast against me happened today on the last event.
You're welcome.
Yes, and thank you for everyone who helped me get here.
I was saying because they voted you. That's
Oh,
what
Anyway, my closing statement is that, like, let that be an example of my gameplay. Is that throughout everything that happened, all the challenges and tribal council I was involved with, my first vote didn't come until the last event today.
Thank you, Matt. Allie?
Okay. I feel like at this point it's a lot of stuff that has already been said, so I'll just try and keep it short and sweet since you've pretty much heard everything. Again, very happy to be here, very grateful. Had a lot of fun with all of you playing this amazing game. I think that my game changed tremendously throughout our time here, and I really adapted to all the changes and played to the best of my ability, made some big moves, made new alliances. Yeah.
Thank you, Allie. Lauren?
I mean, like similarly, I think I played a really strategic game. I, was able to put myself in a really good place for a lot of swing votes and votes. I was smart in challenges and really kept my head on and kept myself at a really good place throughout. And I was able to, to make connections that were going to get me through, whether it to the next step or to the end. And played both the safe votes and some bigger votes. So kind of really had that dynamic side, whatever I saw as both a short and long-term lead, dove into that, and then always kept the sights till the end for what those options were to play out here.
Thank you, Lord. All right. Well, that is a great season, and now you get to vote for your winner. We are going to go, Jeremy, downwards. Lacey will be last to vote.
Nice work, guys. That's fucking awesome. Final three.
I think it's gonna be either 6-6 tie or maybe like a 6-5-1. I wish the jury could have saw how Allie played. Like, I feel like she played very underrated right now. She played an amazing game. It was just like kind of behind closed doors, so a lot of people didn't get to see that. But I mean, I think she played an amazing game, and they shouldn't have let her get to the end, in my opinion. But my vote's for Allie. So
I am honored to be here in this moment. I've apologized to you all in this moment time and time again, so this is actually kind of a joyous moment. I actually feel like I can see why voting all 3 of these people is beneficial, but for me, in this moment, I'm actually choosing to vote Matt, not because he is my partner outside of this, but actually, based off of his answers tonight at Tribal, I actually felt like he answered them. He stuck to the criteria that was asked by the people that were asking, not only from Michael, but also from the jury. I felt like when he described his gameplay, there was moments of struggle, but he was able to at least identify clear moments. And I also felt like his point, which I didn't realize until the end, even though he fucked me, was that his name was not written down until the final 5. And I think that says a lot about like how he was able to make it this far without his name being in the mix. So for that, my baby cakes, this one's for you. I love you, honey. Good luck.
How you arrived at your decision? You writing down the name?
Oh, I thought it was so simple. I mean, again, my style this whole time is transparency, honesty, and openness. And so when I went up there and I asked my questions, it was, just before me, Austin had challenged OD on his big move, quote unquote, and was like, why didn't you do the big brain move? I agree with this move. Force the eye block. My first vote. I thought that's what should have happened on his vote against Jesse and Caitlyn. But Matt and Caitlyn were tied, so Matt shouldn't have done that. That should have been Mike's move, in my opinion. Mike didn't do that. So I corrected that, and then I went to talk to Lauren, who I worked with for the first half of the entire game. And she was asked about what her biggest move of the game was, and then she cited a move I created. She admitted, she was like, I didn't create this move, but here was one of the big moves that I did this game. And then she forgot all the coolest parts of the move, which were things like we made Megan feel uncomfortable, and we made Megan force out her idol to play before. That happened because I convinced them to make her uncomfortable while still winning Megan's favor. And then in the next vote, we ultimately got her out. At the same time, we forced out a second idol, back-to-back plays from Drew. And then we got the person we ultimately wanted out, Megan. My thoughts. And I think if Lauren had just answered that more honestly, where I was like, hey, here were some of the big moves I did. I didn't create them. Drew created them. Or something like that. Like, Matt did a really good job of, he never cited me, but he'd be like, hey, this person, and this person were like
the people who got me here. And then Lauren was very much like, I didn't get, I maybe didn't make this move, but here was the move. I asked her to correct it. Her new big move was she had the idol and all of the power, and she felt like she had the power to sway the votes, but she voted with the majority. Her second answer to that she answered as I was stepping off was, when we voted out Jeremy. I was like, did you feel like that was a tough choice? She said, yes. Maybe people will agree with that. Because of that, I voted for who had the best game. And I told a little anecdote, which was about, I guess, a guy named, it was season 19 of Survivor. There's this player, he's really strong, people love him, America loves him, I have no idea. And then there was this woman, Natalie, who was well liked, or better liked. And I asked that story, and they all unanimously agreed Allie's the more likable player. I think I see that. My personal vote, though, is for the best player, if that makes sense. Strategic player, maybe, or something like that was left in the game.
You all did great. I know how it is to be in the final two, but the very, very limited gameplay that I got to do, just one round, Allie was the only person that did not lie to me and stuck by my side. So and my gaming, and the only experience I had in the game, she was the only person that stuck by my side. So I will be voting for Allie.
Of course. Okay, so to me, it's very, very apparent that this is the only easy, like the only vote that even makes sense. I think if you're voting any other way, you're not thinking strategically. And the sole reason I say this is because there's no comeback story. There's no like, oh, I got too fucked up and then I like came back, which is like the only other half interesting story in my opinion. OD came in, he knew no one, he fucking dominated, he didn't even have an advantage. And he was in it from the jump, stayed in it, became the final three. And to me, like, who else do you vote for than that person? So, for sure, Matt OD. Like, congrats, amazing fucking game. Like, it was really, really awesome to see, so. But I love everyone, so I will say that. But to me, best player, very obvious.
Okay. All right, nice. Okay, I'm voting for Allie, and yeah, I said it from the beginning. I thought Lauren was shady from the jump. I always thought she was shady throughout this game. Hearing Caitlin's testimonial throughout the questioning totally solidified it. I think Lauren played a shady game. Matt, I don't think had any big moves. Allie, I actually think did a great job getting back in from the battle back and making it to the top three. So I think she deserves to win the. I voted for Allie. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. All right, yeah. Obviously, 3 people left. My decision came down to Lauren. I feel like you said a lot, but didn't say anything at all during every single answer. And also, we never talked, so I had no idea even personality or anything really. Obviously, we had a bit of a relationship before the kickball. Allie. I think you had a great comeback story, and I think that was really respected. Matt, OD, love fellow Buckeye, but when I pressed you for trying to have you follow up for why you said you directed the vote against me, there was no answer. So with that, I am voting Allie. Congrats. Hopefully you guys are happy cheers with this one.
With that being said, congrats to all 3 of you. I'm going to go grab the votes for the last time.
To all of us, we did it! What a weekend! From Thursday at 8 p.m. to Monday at 1 a.m. now. $1 million.
Congratulations to all 3 of you. Really, congratulations. What a fucking awesome. Okay. Last time in a year. Let's go. Okay. First vote. Matt. 1 vote, Matt. Second vote. Allie. 1 vote, Matt. 1 vote, Allie. Third vote. Matt. 2 votes, Matt. 1 vote, Allie. Fourth vote. Allie. We're tied. 2 votes, Matt. 2 votes, Allie. Fifth vote. Matt. 3 votes, Matt. 2 votes, Allie. Sixth vote. Allie. We're tied again. 3 votes, Matt. 3 votes, Allie. Seventh vote. Matt. 4 votes, Matt. 3 votes, Allie. Eighth vote. Allie. We're tied again. 4 votes, Allie. 4 votes, Matt. Ninth vote. Matt. 5 votes, Matt. 5 votes, Matt. 4 votes, Allie. 10th vote. Allie. We're tied again. 5 votes, Allie. 5 votes, Matt. 1 vote left. And the winner of Survivor Palm Springs All-Stars, New Stars, and No Stars is Matt.
Great job, everybody.
What's inside there?
Great job.
An extra vote.
You can read it. You can read it to the group.
Man, it really helps.
You can read the vote to the group.
Okay,
I mean,
I will.
the note.
I will.
Now Matt's got 3 black boxes.
Prison Matt.
Survivor Matt.
You are the sole survivor. You've done something that no player was able to do. Avoid being voted out of this game and win the majority of votes at the final tribal council. Not only do you win the prize money of $600 and the gold winner's buff, but you've secured yourself a spot in Survivor Palm Springs All-Stars, which will be a future season. Congrats to you. You played a great game. You officially earned your stars.